What is up, duelists? Arts and Crafts here, once again bringing you your daily dose of Yu-Gi-Oh! Goat Format action. Today's feature match, we've got Infinity 2K26 versus the Boar 95. As always, both players rated in the top 200 of the Duelingbook Goat Format ladder at the time this match was played. Let's hop right into it. Looks like Infinity is going to win that RPS. They won't surprisingly be going first. Now, last time we saw them play, I believe they were on some funky rescue cat action, so definitely would not be surprised to see them cooking up a little combo stuff here. Once more, they're going to lead out with Delinquent Duo, which is always a solid start. Get some intel on what the board is playing. They hit a Scapegoat, so you know you're probably up against some sort of control deck, maybe like a Reasoning Gate strategy. And then Breaker will hit the Grave as well, which I think rules out Reasoning Gate, so you're definitely assuming you're up against some sort of control deck here. And then Infinity's just going to go set a monster pass. So already up a card, use their normal summon, pretty solid start, but the Boar definitely not out of it completely. They're going to draw for turn. Top deck's Thunder Dragon, not too bad, so getting Chaos live in Grave, reducing some of the lost card advantage from that duo just a little bit. I think confirming that they're pretty much on Chaos control here. Let's see what the play is. They're going to go Pot of Greed. Nice, so thinning the deck with the TD before firing off the pot. And then they can slam down Chaos Sorcerer. So really aggressive early turn here for the Boar. Turn 1 Chaos Sorcerer, setting a back row, I guess, in case there's potentially the Morphing Jar there. Going to attack into this set. It is a Giant Rat. Yeah, so Infinity likely still playing some Rescue Cat action. We'll see what they choose to search with the Rat here. It's going to be an Exiled Force, which is a pretty easy way to deal with this Chaos Sorcerer on the crackback, if it can survive until their own turn. And the Boar here going to set a monster pass, maybe making it a little bit tougher for Infinity to choose what to hit with the Exiled, because there is like faith-threatening Pot of Greed. So interesting choice here. I feel like the Boar probably bluff sets something here to make this decision a little bit harder regardless. So if you're Infinity, probably you just fire it off on the Sork and not take the bait, is my guess. Let's see what they choose to do, though. We're going to go Heavy Storm first, hitting the opponent's Pro Set Heavy Storm. Cool. So neither player will have access to that card for quite a while. And then we've got Last Duel coming in here. So Exiled Force is not just an easy answer to scary monsters that your opponent controls. It is also one of the easiest ways in the game to trigger Last Will. So Infinity here. Two key pieces of their combo. Back row is clear here to do this. Ooh, we got double Last Will as well. Wow, so going to be a really, really impressive combo turn here. No back row here from the board to do anything. Could be scary. Exiled will go pop the set monster. It is just a Dekoichi. So the Boar threatening Faith. It was not that, but likely this Chaos Sorcerer will prove easier to deal with because it is face up. Double Last Will trigger. We'll go grab DD Warrior Lady and an Injection Fairy Lily. Okay, so we're just going for big damage here, I guess. You can have the Warrior Lady, I guess, banish the Sork, maybe? I mean, I guess maximum damage would just be Lily kill the Sork, DD Warrior Lady in for 1500. That's probably the play. Oh, and then we've got Rescue Cat here as well. Yeah, so this is going to be big, big damage. Rescue Cat will go ahead and grab a Mindless Radiant, powering up the Injection Fairy Lily, and a Death Wombat here to add even more damage to the table. So we'll get Lily kill the Sork. That is 924, or I guess 900 plus 500. So 1400, 29, 37. 5,800 damage. It's not too bad. Good chunk here. Going to be able to clear out this Sork as well. All right, so let's see it. So we're going to have DD War Lady banish the Sork here. I guess Chaos control lists are more likely to run stuff like Chaos, or like Premature Burial and Call of the Haunted. So maybe not wanting the Sork to go into the grave. And if you can't OTK the opponent, you might as well go for a little bit more safety here. This does reduce the damage that they can deal, of course. Or does it? Well, now it's just what? 39 5k 58. Okay. Yeah, so this is still a lot of damage. And now the Sork will be gone. Miles gets in for 800. Wombat in for 21. And then power up the Lily with the 2000. Now, the Lily will be the only card that sticks around, but you do have it to represent lethal next turn, which is quite strong. Yeah, so nice little combo here from Infinity. Not getting the full OTK, but definitely dealing a lot of damage. And then they're just going to end the turn. The Rescue Cat targets will hit the grave, but they get to pass with lethal on board with this Injection Fairy Lily coming in. So the board here, if you can clean up the Lily, you might be in a good spot, but if you can't, you're going to lose. So very pivotal turn here to see if the board can stabilize down at 1,200 life points. We're going to go Tribe Infecting Virus. That is definitely a good way to do that. Tribe, discard one of those Thunder Dragons in hand. Call Spellcaster, kill the Lily, get in for 16. And now Tribe is actually a pretty nice clock. That's the thing with these Rescue Cat decks. They are very, very all-in. So using double Last Will plus Rescue Cat in that turn and still not able to find the OTK. And now they're pretty resource light, right? So you got to kind of find like another smaller combo or like a Snatch Seal or something for game, I guess. He's going to draw for turn. Show me the Snatch. We're going to go Rescue Cat number 2. Let's see if they have enough targets in the deck to go for game here. We're going to go Death Wombat plus a Gyakugire Panda. Okay, so this is not going to kill the opponent because Wombat will just trade with the Tribe and then Panda will get in for 800 and you'll leave the board at 400, which isn't, you are making progress, but still, once again, not an OTK. And I guess it is just a 1-for-1 in terms of resources. You essentially traded the Rescue Cat for the Tribe, but you're still down to just one card in hand, which will now just be a back row. Interested to see if the board can turn things around now that they're at 400 life. Gonna top deck Graceful Charity. That's a very good way to do that. And we will discard the last remaining Thunder Dragon and a Night Assailant with a Dekoichi engraved to mount its back. So very high value Graceful Charity there. See if that's enough, though, to protect these last remaining life points. I'm going to go T-set pass. Pretty likely that it's that Dekoichi. Will not be surprised. We're going to get, just Desserts. Is that just exactly enough? Yeah, I mean, the board's not going to have anything in hand to block this. And minimal, the exact minimum damage that Just Desserts can do is going to come through to be exactly, or nearly exactly enough to give Infinity game 1. So yeah, Infinity going for a pretty big combo there, dealing lots of damage to the board and wiping their board. They were pretty low on cards, but had a little mini Rescue Cat combo to push through a little bit more damage to set up lethal for this Just Dessert. So you can see how the burn cards synergize with the Rescue Cat OTK sort of stuff, because you don't actually have to kill them with the Rescue Cat if you can follow up with some burn cards for the last few points of damage. And Infinity is going to take down game 1 with their Rescue Cat deck. Board here on Chaos Control. Kind of an interesting, it is a slower deck, which burn variants really enjoy playing against. But it's also one that is, if you're running like Scapegoats and stuff, you can punish certain plays by the Rescue Cat player unless they go into Panda, which we saw Infinity utilize. You just have to be very, you have to time a lot of your defensive cards very well, otherwise it's pretty easy to exploit you from the Rescue Cat player's perspective. So the board here, having lost game 1, it's going to have an uphill battle, but likely has some good stuff in the side deck to bring in to deal with this matchup. So we'll see what they have cooking. Going to lead out with a Thunder Dragon here. Not too bad. Thinning the deck a little bit once more. Into pot, so pretty similar opening to their game 1. It was not enough to win game 1, though, but maybe they have even more action here. We're going to go T-set pass. So once again, decent start out of the board. Little tempo advantage from going first. We'll see if Infinity has any sort of combo stuff here, or if we'll just be playing the waiting game. We're just going to fire up the Last Will, so going for some sort of combo right off the bat. Has the Rescue Cat here as well. Rescue Cat will go and summon double Death Wombat, and then let's see what the Last Will trigger will get. Gets the Exiled Force. So going for a little mini combo here. Exiled can pop the set monster. The Wombats can get in for 32. And this does cost you a card, but it is, solid damage. It deals with the tempo that the board had there. Hitting Faith is really nice to prevent the Pot of Greed from being activated. And yeah, the Wombats will get in pretty nice here. Ooh, and it's still main phase 1. So Rescue Cat also being used as a Dark Engrave to go into Gigantes here. That's going to hit the board, add even more damage to the pile. This 32 becomes 51, right? I feel like I've really struggled to do mental math this video, so sorry in advance, guys. But you know, it's hard to do math on the fly. Yeah, I have a math degree, let's be honest, but I didn't major in arithmetic. So, but yeah, Wombat and Gigantes are going to get in for 3,200 plus 19. And they will drop down to 2,900 health. These Wombats will go away, but that Gigantes will stick around to be a 2-turn clock. The board has tons of cards in hand. 2 of them are fake Thunder Dragons, but presumably they would have enough to stabilize from this point onwards. 2,900 life isn't super duper low, like not as low as they were last game, but we have seen Infinity willing to kind of put in multiple combos in the same game, 2 waves of aggression to deal with the opponent. So now we're going to be in probably waiting phase here for Infinity, especially if their Gigantes gets dealt with. The board does have a clear threat that they have to answer, though. See how they choose to go about it. Gonna activate Jar of Greed to try and dig into one. Upstart Goblin to continue to dig. Sure. Then we're gonna go T-set pass here again. Okay, so Gigantes still sticking around on the board. Infinity happy that their threat is gonna still be here. There is something potentially in the way. Gravekeeper Spy would be really nice here to wall out the Gigantes. But Infinity, you know, could have Knock, could have a lot of other stuff. See what they choose to go with. I guess Knock is a little bit less likely because they went for the Exiled Force off of the last will trigger. Whereas if you just have Knock in hand, you probably just go for extra damage there. Maybe get like a Milus or something. We do have a Milus coming down here, though. This will bump up the Gigantes, making it large enough to beat over potential Gravekeeper Spies, which is one of the nice kind of combos that this deck can have. Gigantes will attack the set monster, but we're going to ring the Milus rate. Oh, so cute play here from the board. Really heads up, you don't want to ring the Gigantes fully because 2,400 damage is going to set you behind pretty far at this point in time. But you can get a smaller ring off on the Milus and then power down the Gigantes so that if this is like Gravekeeper Spy, it won't be able to get over it. So I like this play out of the board. Really heads up stuff here, especially if they have Spy. And it's going to crash in. It's just a Dekoichi, though. Okay, so interesting play. Not as super high value as if it was a Spy, because it's still just going to cycle for a card. Not sure if they exactly needed to do the ring right this second, I guess. Because it didn't really save too much. I mean, you could have just done it to kill the Milus when it tried to attack directly anyway, so I guess it's probably just a wash. But Dekoichi will at least cycle for a card here. Get a Dark Engrave for the board as well, potentially turning on Chaos stuff, which would be a really, really solid way to stabilize at this point in time, because right now this Gigantes is continuing to apply pressure. Infinity's just going to pass here, keeping this Gigantes on board. Still a 2-turn clock. The board has a massive amount of cards in hand. We're going to go Breaker. Okay, really interesting. This is one of those times where, I mean, you could just be using Breaker to pop the back row to set up for a Chaos monster. That would definitely make a lot of sense. But also, you can still get the 2-for-1 with the Breaker here. If you keep the token on, attack the Gigantes, they both die, and then Gigantes effect Heavy Storms the field. So, kind of I mean, Breaker is a 2-for-1 machine all the time anyway, but this is kind of a funny way to basically do the stuff that Breaker normally does, but in like a weird kind of fun order. I'm assuming that they're setting up for Chaos here, though. Yeah, gonna pop that back row. It is just Desert, so that'll ping the board for 500. That is not lethal, though, and that is actually just Desert's not being that amazing of a card at this point in time. It does mean Gigantes is lethal, but we'll likely see something else come down here for the board to deal with that. Yeah, Chaos being set up, of course. With that set to Koichi last turn, we'll have Sork come down, and you probably just beat over the Gigantes and then attack in for 16. No real need to banish here, I don't think. Oh, we are going to banish it, though. Okay, so giving up on 400 points of damage, not the end of the world, but I guess maybe you're worried about premature Call the Haunted stuff. They still have good targets for that, though, with the Exiled Force, so kind of an odd choice there, I think. 400 damage, of course, not the end of the world, but likely could have min-maxed that a little bit, is my guess. They do get to beat in for 16, start applying the clock onto Infinity, though, and now Infinity can't just sit back behind this Gigantes. They're going to need to stall out until they can find another little mini combo to close out this game. Infinity will draw for turn. We've got Injection Fairy Lily. Is this just game? Over Yeah, this is just game over the breaker, because that is, yeah, 34 minus 16. Not going to do the math, but it's more than 16, because I know 16 times 2 is 32. Quick maths, guys. And Lily over breaker is going to be game. And the boar, you can have as many cards in your hand as you want, but if you do not have anything to stop Injection Fairy Lily coming in to beat you down, it is just going to be GG, and that is Infinity taking it down 2-0 on their Rescue Cat list against the boar on Chaos Control, who just really could not deal with the aggression from Infinity. Was able to grind out advantage in both games, but just couldn't convert them into any way to stabilize. And Infinity here, they've showed in previous games on this channel that sometimes Rescue Cat needs a couple different ways of aggression to close out games, but very adept at doing that in both Game 1 and Game 2 here. Both games that went for a little bit of last will Rescue Cat stuff to deal the vast majority of damage to the opponent, set them low, and then finish them off in Game 1 with a Just Desserts, here with an Injection Fairy Lily. And yeah, just too much aggression for Chaos Control to deal with in this scenario. Hope you guys enjoyed this relatively quick match. I will catch you all next time.